Let's rock and roll. We are recording. I'm here with Ryan Murphy. You just finished match number 5 of the ISL. It's match number 3 for the LA Current. You guys have had two different MVPs. You're in as of like a few days ago, you were the leading money earner for the ISL. So it's like you guys are seems like you guys are on fire right now. Break down the match for me. How do you feel like it went?
Yeah, it was a good one. I think our team is gelling really well, and that's exciting from my perspective. I was lucky. I got voted team captain as we got here. So, I my main focus has really just been on making sure the team's in a good spot. And we knew this meet was going to be really close. We knew based on last meet that Tokyo is really good, and that one came down to the wire for us. We all swam against London last year. We knew what they had. Obviously, they're missing some Aussies, but they reloaded pretty nicely. So we were expecting a really great battle here, and that's what we got. So it's been fun. It's been fun to get in there, race again, and I'm happy with the way we performed this meet, and I think it sets us up well for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's go back a little bit. First two matches for you guys, you were back-to-back skins champion. Take me through those two skins races, and which one was better for you, and which one did you learn more from?
Well, the first one was definitely better. I think in with the skins, it's tough, especially backstroke, because you can't see anything. So as we went into that first meet, I think what honestly helped me in the skins is when we got here, we had to quarantine for 2 days. So taking a flight across the world and then quarantining for 2 days, it's a nice little built-in rest, and it's just enough to get me firing off for that first meet pretty well. So those skins on the first meet, like I went through and Durden was like, all right, like, what are you thinking? And I was like, I mean, I don't know. What are you thinking? And he was like, well, let's just use this as experience. Go all out on number one, go all out on number two, and go all out on number three. And I was like, all right,
Easy.
man, like let's do it. So it went well. Like I think that was a really good one. Like I didn't drop off too much, 1 to 3. And then I honestly attribute that to the flight and the quarantine. Going into meet 2, like we were able to get into a good training rhythm out here and get into a good lifting rhythm out here. And so I think I was probably carrying a little bit more fatigue into meet 2. And that showed up in the skins. Like I went in with the same strategy, just go all out on every single one, and the drop off was a little bit more. And so I probably learned a little bit more from the second one, and I learned that through pain. There was a lot of pain on the second time I did skins, but it's fun. Like I love doing that. Like I love going up there. Like I kind of pride myself on being a really good trainer. Like I've always kind of had this thought, like I have a feeling I could train with just about anybody, and the skins is a nice reflection of that. Like you get up, you try really hard, you get 2 minutes off, you try really hard again, get 2 minutes off, and you try really hard again. And I enjoy that you do get a little glimpse of what people's strengths are in the sport.
Yeah. Speaking of certain strengths, I don't know how to say his name, Guido
Oh
from
yeah.
from London. I don't know how to say his first name. It anyway. He is it seems like he has ISL dialed in, or at least short course, 50 back, 100 back. He's a monster. And I mean, he has incredible walls. Have you, what are your thoughts on him? Have you seen him train? Have, just in racing him and watching him move, how do you break down his performances?
I mean, you nailed it. He's really good, and he's really good at short course meters. He's good at long course too. I definitely don't want to discount what he's doing long course. But in a format like this, he's dominant, and that's fun. It's nice that I'll get a couple cracks at him here. And so I mean, I think the biggest thing is just getting comfortable with the course. For backstrokers, going from short course yards to short course meters, in a short course yards pool, the flags are at 5 yards. In a short course meters pool, they're at 5 meters. So like that's about a foot, where like yards, I'm pretty dialed in. It's like I do my last stroke, turn over, boom, the wall's there. Here, I do my last stroke, turn over, I got an extra foot to the wall, and that does make a difference. So I got to put some pressure on myself to really dial in these turns and get comfortable with the meters flags. And hopefully that will get me closer to Guido's level out here. Like he's been studly so far.
It's crazy, but in your own right, so have you. How did you feel about these races? Again, you didn't have skins. You got to be on that mixed free relay today at the end. Break down your performances so far, or at this meet.
Yeah. I mean, I think I guess I'll just go start to finish. So I started off with 200 back, and I was stoked with that one. I think going into that, like I thought I pressed it a little too hard at the beginning last week and paid for it in my later races. And this week I was trying to go out slower, and I didn't. I think that 200 rhythm is just pretty dialed in right now, and I think that's a reflection of what these past couple months have been for me. Like we've done a lot of work and a lot of aerobic work, and so the 200 I'm able to dial it in pretty nicely, and that's showing in the races. So I felt good about that one. Just liked the rhythm, liked how I split it. And I think I've definitely got some room to drop there. So really, really excited about the 200. Moving on, then we had the 50. And as I kind of just mentioned, like I'm just really not comfortable with my speed yet. I'm not trusting it. I'm not letting myself like kind of just settle into a rhythm. I'm really forcing it. And the 50 was that. Like I felt like I was going turbo arms on that one. And that's not the way that I should swim. That's not my style, and that's not what has made me good. So that's something that, hopefully I can start to feel more comfortable with the speed, and that race will get a little bit better. And then going into the medley again, like I didn't feel like I trusted my stroke in that. So really, really forcing the tempo to try to get up to 100 speed. And when you force the tempo, you're going to die in your races. And that's what happened in that relay. I fell off pretty hard at the end, and that's good experience. Going into day 2, I really wanted to correct that, trying too hard in my races, and thought I did that nicely in the 100 back. Like I had a 49.7 today in the 100 back, and that's what I had. So like I'd love to be beating Guido. I'd love to win every time I race, but those things I just kind of got to let it come to me naturally throughout the season. And then that free relay, really I'm just hammering home. I don't have the speed yet, and so like when I'm falling off in these races, it's just because I'm really pressing the tempo too early, and so I'm hoping to get more comfortable with the speed, and hopefully that'll lead to some better performances as we keep on rolling here.
So you mentioned just kind of getting into your rhythm, letting it come to you, and certainly as a fan, as an outsider looking in, it seems like you've been in that situation a lot before. It's like 2016 Olympics, day 8, I think it was, you broke the world record leading off the relay. Your best hunter back of that meet. To NCAA's, you dropped to 135 in the tuner back after on like race, number 11 or 12 or something. How do you settle into that process and just kind of let things come together, especially mentally, when it's like you want to be at your best every single time, especially in a situation like this where it's like the best of the best competing every
Mhm.
single race.
Yeah, well, that's if I had the answer to that, I'd probably quit as a swimmer and become the best swim coach ever. Uh, so that's the challenge of this sport is just really figuring out like when to really press it, when to let it come to you, and that answer is always going to be, that's just a pretty fluid answer. So for me, like, yeah, like I always start off the season better at the 200 than the 100. And that's just kind of like my natural progression. I naturally have a better 200 stroke than a 100 stroke, in my opinion. And so that's a good thing. Like I think, I'd almost be worried if I had a ton of speed right now. So, because I do view these things as kind of a, if you're getting more speed, you're probably also not going to be able to hold it as long. And so it's everything's always fluctuating. So I've got great endurance right now, and I'm stoked about that. So I just keep my focus on the positive things, and that is a challenge to do. But that's always my goal is to keep my eye on the positive.
Yeah. You mentioned that Durden was there for a period. He got to come out and watch you guys and kind of see you move through the water for a few days. What did that bring for you personally to have Durden out there for a while?
Yeah, well, Durden's the man. I enjoy talking to Durden on the pool deck, off the pool deck. So, he's, obviously he's my coach, but he's a friend too. And so it's nice to just have another friend out here, first and foremost. And then two, like Dave is, Dave is he's very intuitive. So after a week, he can kind of see like, all right, like this is what the training, this is what LA Current has, and that's my training group is LA Current.
Mhm.
This is what LA Current has, like, and this is the Cal group that we have here. Could we maybe bring some guys that are doing similar type work to us into our practices, just to mix up the stimulus? Like I don't need to race Celiscar, Tom, and Josh every day. So maybe we bring in some other guys to do our practices, or maybe we go and do their work. And so I think that's the biggest thing, is just like him being able to see what the situation is, see the personalities on our team, and how we could kind of just best optimize what we've got out here. So I think that was, in my mind, I think that was his goal. But yeah, maybe if you asked him, maybe he has a different answer. That's just that's what I think he was here for.
Yeah. And how has that played out so far? Have you, who have you trained with who's kind of pushed you maybe more than you thought they would, or just an interesting, different kind of stimulus?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think so we brought in Jacob Heidman from Germany. I think he's a 4IM guy, 400 free. Like the dude swims a lot of different stuff. He's just a good personality. So like bring him in, that's just fun. And then Will Lacone's been popping in with us from time to time. Maxime's been popping in with us, a little bit less than Will. I think the biggest thing is just like personalities. Like we're all self-motivated to work hard, and we're going to do the practice as it's written. We don't have any problem doing that, but just mixing up the personalities in the group so that everyone's enjoying it, everyone's staying light. I think that's the key when you're going to be out here for a 6-week period.
Yeah. And so, yeah, speaking of that, obviously it's like week 2 or 3 of the bubble. And how are you holding up so far? Just with all these restrictions, not being able to have a lot of movement, always wearing the masks. Obviously, you got to do it, but just how has it been so far for you living wise?
Honestly, like I feel like I was kind of conditioned to a lot of these protocols beforehand. Like where I'm living in California has been very strict the whole time. And so like for me, like weightlifting in a mask is something I've had to do for a while now. And wearing a mask everywhere I go is something I've had to do. Getting temperature checks is something I've had to do. Making sure I do hand sanitizer when I walk in anywhere. That's something I've had to do. Um, so I'm honestly like, I'm the health protocols are fantastic, and I'm really happy that they're taking it seriously, and that that's the reason why we are on week 3 and it's going smooth. So I'm really happy about that. Um, and honestly, like I'm seeing more people now than I was at home. Like when I was at home, it was kind of like I'd see my roommates. I'd see some swimmers on the Cal team, not even all of them. And so here it's like, socially, I feel like I'm thriving because this is the most social activity I've gotten exposed to in like months. So I'm loving it. I'm loving catching up with people and loving seeing people. It's been a really really welcome change to my routine.
Yeah, that it does sound nice. Even though from what I've heard, interactions are limited, kind of, but you still get to be around your team, still get to see people. It sounds like a good setup for sure. Just being around people is such a novel thing now, which is bizarre.
Exactly. Yeah, and you nailed it. Like I'm honestly really just hanging out with people on LA Current, and that's fun. Like I think we've got a pretty chill group of guys, and honestly, I haven't hung out with the girls much. They seem cool too. So, but the guys have been fun, and so I've really enjoyed that aspect of this.
Yeah. Tell me a little about Tomo. Is that his
Yeah,
name?
yeah. He's
He's
the
what,
biggest.
17, 18?
Something like that. I want to say he's 19 or 20.
Okay. Let's go
Yeah,
with you, but
yeah, but I love guys like that. Uh, like Tomo is a guy where like I was giving myself a haircut the other night. I'm gonna get back to Tomo, but I was giving myself a haircut the other night and I messed it up. That's why I'm wearing this beanie. Is so I was like, I had number 3 on. I was just like trimming the sides. I was like, oh, like sides are getting a little long. Like I'm gonna trim that. So I do that in the shower, just trim the sides. Get out of the shower. I'm like, oh, I missed a spot. So I go and I start to trim it, and I'm like, oh my god, I took off the blade. And so
totally been there.
yeah, honestly, any guy who's tried to cut their own hair has been there, and it happened to me here. So so I just went straight blade on the side. And I'm like, oh my god, how do I make this work? Meanwhile, like my hair was kind of long on the top. I'm like, this looks like crap. So Tomo lent me his number 7 for the top, so to make this look a little bit better. But it's bad. Yeah, I'll give you a little peek. Like, look at that. Like I
Oh
made a walk.
no.
It's bad. It's not good. But I'm hoping that maybe 2 or 3 days from now, I might feel confident enough to take off the beanie. But Timo has been awesome. I mean, the dude is he's excited to be here, and he's really taking advantage of it. Like I think he's getting a lot of confidence from these races, and I've been pushing him to start saying some stuff in speech in team meetings. Like I'm like, Timo, like speak up, man. Like we want to hear we want to hear what you got to say. And so we got him to lead the cheer today, and I think that's a big first step for him. He's naturally a little bit shy, but we're getting him comfortable in front of the group little by little. So I'm expecting some big time speeches from him by the time we get to week 6 out here.
So not only big time swims, but big time speeches.
But that's
That's
honestly,
awesome.
those are, I'm looking forward to the swims. I get really hyped when if someone can deliver a great pump up speech, that's that's impressive, and that's really what I'm searching for. I really want someone to step up, and I want them to deliver an incredible pump up speech to our team. So I'm planting some seeds with some of the guys to step up and do that.
Dude, that's the sign of a real captain. Listen, I need you to step up and get our team motivated.
Yeah,
If
I mean we're motivated no matter what, but you add some excitement in here. I mean, we're seeing the same people every day, every meal,
Mhm.
6 weeks in a row. We gotta. I can't step up there every meeting and just try to deliver something good. Like, people are gonna hate me at some point if I do that. So my thing is, like, guys, everyone speak. Like, if you got something to say it. Like, no one is above anyone else here. Like, everyone's a leader. Everyone's probably been a captain at some point. So if you've got something to say, like, please, like, don't feel uncomfortable saying that.
yeah, I'm serious. That's great leadership right there. That's why Ryan Murphy's team captain.
Yeah.
So what, like you said, 6 weeks of seeing the same people. What have you guys done to kind of to switch things up outside of the pool? In your free time, what do you guys do when you just get a few minutes to yourself?
Yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, what have we been here? We've been here 3 weeks, exactly 3 weeks. Um, I haven't taken a day off of swimming yet, so like, honestly, I've been pretty busy with the
Whoa.
swimming and the lifting. Um, I think I get a day off tomorrow, which, man, that's going to be nice. But I mean, it's just trying to do the same things you usually do. So it's Saturday. Um, I'm going to be watching some college football today. I'll be watching some NFL football tomorrow. I might sprinkle in playing some Madden. I've been playing Madden against Will Lacone, and we're sharing a wall, actually. So he's this room next to me, and those have been some battles. Like, I think right now he might be up 5-4 in the series, but I'm honestly not a big gamer normally. So I think he started with a little bit of a head start on me. So I'm getting better, and I think by the end I might be winning every single game against him. But we've been doing that. Some guys have been playing poker. I like to keep money, so I'm not I haven't I haven't been playing poker. Um, and then I'm honestly very entertained by conversation. So just talking with a lot of people, and that's been good entertainment for me.
So on your coaching staff, you guys have a plethora of knowledge. You've got Dave Marsh, Kim Bracken, uh, Jack Roach. There's a lot of wisdom there. What is it? What do you pick up being around three coaches who have been in the game for so long, like that?
I mean, I think you pick up different things from everyone. I think Marsh is someone that really thinks outside the box, and that's great. I think swimming is a sport where there's a certain way that you're thought to do something, and he's someone that always pushes the envelope on that. So that's something you pick up from him. From Kim, Kim has honestly been doing a lot of, like, detail work with people. So it's like, if you want if I'm trying to get better at backstroke turns, I'll go to Kim. She'll take a look, give me feedback. Jack Roach is just, I mean, the guy's a legend, and
Dude,
I
talk about someone to have a conversation with.
holy cow, yeah. I mean, and I pick up so much more from Jack, like, from a life perspective. And I'm not diminishing him as a coach. He's a fantastic coach, but he is a even more fantastic human. And so, it's just awesome, like, picking up a lot of stuff from him, and hearing stories. Like, he's a connector of people. So it's like it's cool that like I feel connected to a guy like Aaron Pearsall through Jack Roche. Like he's telling me what Aaron's up to, telling me some things that Aaron learned throughout his career. And then Aaron will reach out to me and we talk about it further, and that's something that's really cool. And then I'm even going to extend it to Lenny. Like Lenny Kraselberg is the man. Like he is obviously was an incredible athlete and so impressive as an athlete. I mean, what he's doing with his swim schools is also really impressive. And the amount of work that he's taken on for ISL and really his passion about pushing this forward it's inspiring to be around. So feel very lucky that we have the staff that we do, and they're making good calls for us. So I'm glad with what we got, and wouldn't trade it.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good staff. You talked him up well. I want to be on the LA Current now. Jeez.
Yeah,
All right.
I guess this will be our recruiting pitch video for next year.
I'll send you the clip. So moving forward, you guys have you only have one match left until semis, right?
Yeah. I think we've got like 9 days off here, or 8 days, or something like that. So, yeah, we definitely front loaded. Our schedule was front loaded.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got one more regular season, and man, our schedule. I don't know if you guys are going to put out anything in terms of like hardest schedules. We are being put through the ringer with our schedule. Like we go through our first meet. We've got Energy Standard in Cali. We go and God, I'm slipping on the fourth team there. And then
in New York,
and yeah, and New York like got out the gate slow, but New York is a good team. They're coming on.
Yeah.
Meet two, we go and we've got Tokyo, who's really good. We've got Toronto, who's also really good, and we've got Aqua, who their men's team is really good. And then we go to this meet. We get London, really good, Tokyo, and then we got DC. And the next meet, I think we've got London, we've got Cali again, and I think we've got Aqua again. So it's like,
yeah,
our schedule sucks. But I mean, I think one of the things I always love to hear is these guys who, these SEC football players or someone that plays in a tough division in the NFL. They're like, we're battle tested going into the playoffs. And honestly, we are. Like, we're going to go into a semi, and that's going to be an easier meet than any meet we've gone through so far. So I'm really looking forward to semis.
I think you said it. We need to put out an article comparing schedules, because I know the big one was the Energy Standard and London never compete against each other, and I know commenters have already been like, come on. But obviously we don't make the schedule. Obviously you don't make the schedule. So you've got one more match. And like you said, you've got a little period off. What do you work on in these next 8-9 days before you get back in the pool for that last match and then on to semis?
Honestly, I think my job is to be the most effective communicator possible with Durden about like what I'm feeling, like physically, and then he's got to put together the pieces. I think he's the best coach in the world, and so if I can effectively communicate, then he could be an effective coach. So that's, I don't know what my plan is. I'll probably text him or call him. It's Saturday. I'll probably bug him when it's Monday for him, and just kind of communicate and figure out what he's thinking. And go from there. Honestly.
Nice. Well, Ryan, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk to me for a little bit. Any parting thoughts before we sign off?
I like the new hairdo, man. Like you went from like you got some flow. I mean, like it's nice. I like it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I didn't try to cut my own hair, and I learned that lesson the hard way as well. And since then, yeah, it's gotten all right. But thank you. I appreciate that.
Uh, do you have any parting thoughts? Any
Me-
any deep thoughts that maybe I respond to?
um, let's see. Uh, I think Tom getting to swim fly skins was awesome. Uh,
I agree with that.
I had been looking forward to that for a while. Seeing him in backstroke skins just wasn't quite the same.
Yeah, I totally agree. You know, like Tom's been a horse for us, and um, he did good. You know, like when as we move through the session, it's like, yeah, we're probably not going to catch London, and then Tokyo got 2 through on that first round of men's skins. I was like, oh no, like please do well. And yeah, I never should have even had that seed of doubt in my mind because Tom is a stellar athlete. He's always been a stellar athlete, and he's really showing it here. And I think he's still got room to go. And so it's great. I'm super stoked for him. Like I think this is a really positive experience for him, and hopefully we keep that rolling. So yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome to see him power through that last one. He's been a beast for us.
Yeah, I mean it's so cool to see. You we got used to seeing this in like 13, 14, 15, kind of those years of like him and Leclos and others Katinka facing off in World Cup scenarios, but that didn't really get a ton of notoriety. And now you see that experience, that just wealth of knowledge that he's bringing to the table and that those other athletes are bringing to the table pay off in a format that really rewards all those races and all those underwaters and all that experience. And it's certainly fun for me as a fan to watch that.
Yeah, and it's not even just the wealth of knowledge. It's just Tom is a really good swimmer, and I think there's definitely been some peaks and valleys for him, but the constant is he is a very good swimmer, and so I think he's making strides in learning how to believe that himself. And man, if he really starts to believe that he's one of the best, like that's going to be scary for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what we've got coming down the pipe. I talked to him a few days after you guys' last match when you won. He mentioned you guys go push each other in a very healthy way when you guys lift together.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've each got our strengths. Like Tom's always gonna be better at something like bench press than me. I think that's just the dynamics of the strokes he swims. Like he's all everything's here for him. I don't really need my chest in backstroke. I would say we're pretty comparable on like pull ups. My legs are stronger than Tom's. He'd admit that too. And then cleans. He gets me. He gets me on cleans. But yeah, I think we should probably stop. We should probably stop competing because it makes me tired going into these beats, and somehow he doesn't affect him.
Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I really appreciate you taking the time, and I'm excited to see what you guys have come your last match in semis. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Thank you, and I appreciate saying that LA Current is your favorite team. So
you heard it here first. You've been listening to the SwimSwam podcast. Stay tuned for new episodes every week. You can take SwimSwam Podcast on the go by subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. Look for links in the description below, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos as well.